Next we have the Gemini 11 capsule. This is the capsule of Charles Conrad and Richard Gordon. Conrad went on to fly to the moon and in the Skylab program. As you can see, this capsule is not much bigger than that Mercury capsule behind it. There's the Mercury capsule right there. And here's our Gemini capsule. The Gemini capsule has room for 2 astronauts now with windows. And we started practicing docking and extra vehicle activity with the Gemini program and wanted to see if men could handle up to 2 weeks in space. The catch was, if you were doing the spacewalk and had a problem, your partner would not be able to put you back into that seat and close the hatch over you. The hatch just barely cleared the helmets. So if you had a problem outside the spacecraft during an extravehicular activity spacewalk, the astronauts had to cut you loose and could not rescue you. Luckily, that did not happen to the American space program. Here we have an Apollo capsule. This capsule would have been Apollo 18 and actually flew in the Apollo-Soyuz test project in 1975. This is a full redesign, whereas this Gemini capsule is just an enlargement of the original Mercury capsule you see behind it. One of the things I've always found curious, it took me many years to discover the answer to the mystery, was these little holes we see in the heat shield. There are several of them. They go all the way around the heat shield. Once the spacecraft was returned to the Earth, those holes were made with core samples and turned into paperweights for congressmen and senators and the like, and famous people. So every now and then you'll come across one of those core samples still. You can see this capsule is much bigger. This accommodated 3 astronauts at a time. The astronauts could come and go through the hatch you see there, which was used only here on Earth. But there was a second hatch at the top where the docking ring is. And that's where it connected to the lunar lander. And the astronauts could move through that. This spacecraft gave the astronauts a whole new level of freedom and a lot more room. You can see the inside of the capsule now accommodates 3. Down below the seats, below the couches, was space for the astronauts to stretch out fully, and you see them moving in this area and changing. They were otherwise in their couches. The couches could also be changed in position to be fully flat. And if you follow up there, that's where the hatch was to the lunar lander. These are our reactionary control system. And this is some of what's left of the original skin coating that burned off during re-entry.